Tuesday. It's January the 28th, gang, so we got a long one for you today, but we're gonna also practice some stuff as well. I don't know if you consider push-ups a skill, but I know that as coaches we do, because in CrossFit there's a certain way that we coach the push-up. And so yes, we've been chipping away at adding to your push-up capacity, but on a day like today, with the volume that we see on a per round basis today, there's also room to work on the skill of the push-up, like making them look really nice. And not just nice, but with like your chest to ground and two standard and all that, but like also efficient. And I guess, not to bury the lead, but the way we coach them, right? Like start to look more like that. And the way that you can practice, or the reason that you can practice today, is because you're never doing more than 20 at a time. So Friday of last week, we had 5 rounds where each round you had to do 20. We feel like today's workout is a really good come down from Friday's WOD, where you're like, oh wow, my push-ups feel a lot better because I never had to do 20 at a time. You might find yourself doing bigger unbroken sets today. What is the format of the workout today? Today we're gonna go up the mountain, down the mountain. So keep that in mind. It's like 8, 12, 16, 20, right? 8, 12, 16, 20. 20 is the peak, and then you come back down 16, 12, 8. Right? And after each round of whatever those numbers were telling you to do, you have a 500 meter row. So each round ends on a 500 meter, I'm calling them rounds, but each sort of interval broken up by those 8s, those 12s, and those 16s ends with the row, which means you're going to row 7 times today. All right, so you know what that kind of distance is, you know what that takes, you know how long 500 meters at a time is going to take you, and factor that in. So what are the actual movements that we're going to do? What is the triplet of what I'm calling something like skill movements are we doing? It is alternating pistols. It is the aforementioned push-ups. Some may do those as no more advanced than hand release push-ups. And then you have kettlebell swings, the old-fashioned American style up overhead kettlebell swings, where it is absolutely on the table today that you may end up doing all those sets unbroken. And if you feel like you can do those sets unbroken, you may even use a heavier one today. So we'll see how it goes. And we'll also see from a logistics standpoint, who has, what kind of availability do we have? Now, if we are, in a big enough class where we feel like, hey, 4 people want to use the 70, I believe we could share with no problem. Like if some people, if 2 people decide, hey, we'll both share that. So if I see you're doing kettlebell swings, then I'll just do my push-ups, get those out of the way, and I'll do my pistols and get those out of the way. Because the kettlebell swings will always be the part of the round that you probably can move through the fastest. Just my guess, having not done it myself. All right, so again, it's 8 of those things, 500 meter row. 12 of those things, 500 meter row. 16 of those things, 500 meter row. 20 of those things, 500 meter row, but then back down. 16 of those things, 12 of those things, 8 of those things, and then the 500 meter row. So those rows come up quicker and quicker. First they take longer and longer to come up, and then they come up sooner and sooner. Did not do this one. I'm going to be up front with you guys 100%. Don't know how many of the workouts this week we are going to get to test in advance. Just a week like that. But we stand by what they are, and we're going to do our best to include these types of videos and notes. All right, guys, have fun.